Haha. Think I'm live again. Hello, my name is Darren. I'm a dad. I'm an airline pilot. My microphone is too far away from my mouth, so I'm not that slick. So here we go. All right. Take this. There we go. And put that right there. And now it is a good level. There we go. Life is good. One day, this will be so slick that we'll talk about the days when it was not very slick. And still married to a scientist. Video with her coming up soon. I have an interview with her coming up soon. Nick, all is going well going into New Year. I'm on reserve right now. I'm on call right now, but they're not gonna call me. Very good trip to Japan. Still married to a scientist. It is almost 2025. First cross country today. Went well. Hey, Carlos, dude, knuckles to you. You were the PIC today. Hello, Inav. Look, my favorite place maintenance hanger. Hey, Gavin, dude, Gavin. Should be in all caps, buddy. All caps, dude. High five and knuckles to you. January 11th to 12th, my friends are playing spying at DFW. Want to get your takeoff and landing? I'm not because I'm going to the Detroit Auto Show on those days. What happens in South Korea? It is very sad. When do we get the interview with the scientist? It is coming up this week. It'll probably be on Thursday. I am going to have two videos this week. One about my month in review for December, and another with my wife, and actually my wife and my kid. I'm interviewing both of them. Cheers to a new year. Can you ask the scientist why it always rains after I wash my cars? Well, you know what? It rains after Oh, Windows is very annoying. Oh, I hate Windows. Oh my gosh. Wow. I really hate Windows. Yeah, it rains after I wash my cars as well. She's a DNA scientist, though. I'm at work as well, enjoying the view of a 777-300 in my hangar. My favorite airplane of 777. Emirates 380, very nice. 55 is not told to be a pilot. Auto show, I always wanted to go to one. I love auto shows. And I'm a little bit annoyed by the Detroit auto show that's coming up because it's not gonna be like it used to be. I mean, it's in January, but it's not gonna have all the automakers like I used to have. Have you lost a lot of weight? I have lost a lot of weight. I've lost about 55 pounds this year. Did you get any of the high steves on my MV? Oh, didn't get any high steves in MV. You know what? It is funny. And like every Embraer 145 goes 245. Well, when I flew the 145 below 10,000 feet, if it was smooth as glass, I'd do 245. If I was, watching it. If it was bumpy at all, I would do 240. Funny enough, the 777 does 240 below 10,000 feet. If you leave it in all the automation anyway. Hey, what are we talking about? I'm 30 years old with PPL. You inspired me to continue and get my ratings to switch careers. I'm currently in IT as well. Dude, Zap Pilot, way to show up, man. And again, I say this often, and I mean this. It is so easy to say, one day I'll be a pilot. One day I'll do it. One day maybe. It is much harder to make the phone call, even harder to go through a discovery flight and then get the medical and find the financing and actually show up on that first day. So many people don't make it to the first day, and you're killing it, man. I was got my 50 hours cross country and 40 hours for instrument. Awesome, man. Nice, Nick. 200 hours short right now, working charter. Hey, DHM Hemi. So I'm guessing you're about what 1,300 hours. Uh, between now and then, right? And I'm not saying you're doing this, but don't do this. Don't sit back and chill. Go through your logbook. Have a buddy that's a pilot. Volunteer to go through their logbook, and you go, and then they go through your logbook. Just look for any typos or not any, adding errors, anything that doesn't make any sense. But have someone go through your logbook to make sure it makes sense. And then same thing for your resume. Have someone go through your resume. When you apply online to an airline, right? If you have a buddy or a spouse or a girlfriend or a boyfriend or anyone who can read intelligently, have them log into the website that you applied and just have them read everything. Because as pilots, not as human beings, we see a lot what we want to see, and sometimes you'll have a glaring mistake, and you won't see it, but someone else will. And good luck to you. Thank you. I lost the weight by semaglutide. It's all medication. Where is the chemtrail switch on the 777? It is. So if you look on the 777 overhead panel, it's right below the packs. You'll see a switch. It's not labeled chemtrail though, but you'll see a switch that's labeled something funny. KC46 Boom Operator here, my fellow crew members, and I love your videos. Keep up the great work. Hey, JJ Allen, thank you very much. And that's it. You know, the whole boom operating thing, that's a crazy task you have of being able to, and I'm sure there's computers involved and numbers, but being able to just connect that hose to an airplane while flying and bumping around. Dude, salute you to you. And thank you for your service, by the way. And I mean that sincerely. Your weight loss journey has been no joke, man. Looking back at the picture we took in Center Fund, yeah. I might have a video about it because, being a pilot, one thing that's hard is maintaining your weight. And when I started this career 17 years ago, I weighed about what I weigh now, right? So over the last 17 years, I've added on 55 pounds. And it's just been a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit there. And it's hard. Like when you fly a long day, you do not want to go to the gym. You work a 14-hour duty day, you go to a hotel, you have no desire to go to the gym. And every day that, and I would, for years, I packed my gym shorts and my tennis shoes. And I would do it maybe once, twice a month. Not enough. And I just kept adding up and adding up. And then, of course, now if I fly a bigger airplane like the Airbus and 777, I sit longer. On the regional jets, I fly an hour or two and I get up and walk around and move, right? Now I'm sitting, I'm flying 14-hour flights now. So it's much harder to get motivated to move. I try. My dumb watch makes me get up and walk around every now and then. Have you ever had to go around in 777? Knock on wood, I have not had to do a go around on 777 in the actual plane. I've done it in the sim many times. But even in the last 17 years of being an airline pilot, I've only had to do go arounds in the actual airplane fewer than 10 times. It's pretty rare. Last time I had to do a go around was, I think it was in Charlotte. It was my own fault. I think it was Charlotte. Pretty sure it was Charlotte. That I was flying anyway. RIP Jimmy Carter. Happy holidays, Darren. Thank you very much. I always wanted to be a commercial pilot, but ended up in ATC, financially driven. No regrets, but I do wonder what might have happened. Hey, but Mr. Robinson, you have a great career and a great retirement path as well. Hey, my husband and I love watching you. My husband wants to be a pilot, and your videos have helped him and me see how much, good work and family balance. Yes, and I'll have a video about for my wife here probably on Thursday, and we discuss some of the family balance issues of being a pilot, a pilot family anyway. I do want to bid for Frankfurt. I have been trying to go to Frankfurt. So next month, I have a video about this at some point. Probably with my October review video. But next month, I was supposed to go to London 4 times. I now trade out of all those trips. So right now, next month, I go to Korea 1 time and Madrid twice. It's only like 65 hours of flying, so I have some more flying to do. I might pick up 1 London and just call it done. But I'm trying to get as close as I can to 100 hours next month. We'll see. What does the diversion procedure look like in the flight deck and dispatch? It depends on why we're diverting, right? Is it a medical diversion? Is it a mechanical diversion? Is it a fuel diversion? Depending on what diversions look like. Every diversion is unique. There's no playbook, right? But it was a lot of talking about us and dispatch. And where are we? Are we over the ocean? Are we over Texas? Are we over California? Are we over Montana where we have no airports that we have like mainline 777 service to? So every diversion is unique. Currently a 60-year FO at JetBlue. Could be moving to DFW. I feel like having at least seriously consider AA. Thoughts on making this type of switch? So get rocked. Nothing wrong with JetBlue. I had never met a single JetBlue pilot that doesn't like the airline. I actually love the airline. That blue juice you guys have there is serious. We have a good buddy over there, Keith Joyner. Used to be a check airman on the 190. Now he's an Airbus captain. Very smart guy. He's been there at least 10 years now. More than that. Probably 10 years. But so if you're going to move to DFW, right? You're on year 6 pay, probably year 7 pay at JetBlue. Good seniority, but knowing that you'll be commuting for the rest of your time in Dallas anyway, that's a big rock in the boat, right? Versus depending how old you are as well. If you're under 50, it can be worth it moving to mainline, or not mainline, sorry, AA, and that you will have probably higher lifetime earnings if you were to go to AA, even at year six pay, because you go down. I think your first year pay is like $100 an hour here, but you go up pretty quick. Year seven pay on the Airbus here is 230 ish an hour. So you'll go down, but you can go up pretty quickly. And even if you were, I mean, the whole wide body here at that airline is 3 to 4 years, probably 5 years here in Dallas. So I'm a quality of life person. I like driving to work. For me, it'd be a no-brainer. You probably get the Airbus as well. Um, I think honestly now I get seriously frustrated as a pilot, waiting on the whim of the controller and being at their mercy. I could get that too. See, because you can see both sides of it. How's the battery life on my Meta glasses? Oh, really good. I've walked around with those all day long. It depends how much I'm using the battery for like the video, but I've never been in a situation where I've been out of battery and I wanted to use them. Will enjoy your videos. They give me motivation for sure. So you have been flying for 17 years? Yes. I don't say who I've worked for on camera, but I've always been based in Dallas, and I fly for the largest airline based in Dallas. Has anyone ever tried? Has anyone on the flight deck ever recognized me? Yes, I've been recognized on the flight deck a few times. On my last trip to Japan, I got recognized by two of our great mechanics in my airline. We had a mechanical issue at the gate. No, they were working on an issue at the gate with their APU, and I'm sitting there. I never say who I am. I never tell a crew member who I am unless they ask who I am. And I'm sitting there, and these two mechanics come on board, say, hey, Darren. I'm like, oh, you know who I am. And then I had to explain to my relief pilot why these two mechanics knew who I was right away. It's pretty rare, but it does happen every now and then. I've never been recognized by another pilot, though. Favorite feature of the 777 is automatic wind shear. You know what? The Airbus has that as well. Where's your response? Most remote place I've ever flown to, Alaska. Probably Fairbanks, Alaska. But I've flown to like Grand Island, Nebraska, too. That's kind of remote. I would never want to be a DPE. That's the thing, having to think about commuting forever versus starting over. I'm under 40. Yeah. So if you're going to make DFW your forever home, right? I think it's a no-brainer. If you're under 40, even if you're 39 years old, you will have 25 years at that big airline, right? You will make 777 captain if you want to in that 25 years, right? I've been here 7 years. I can hold 777 captain in 10 more years. It'll only be better for you because you're younger, right? I started here when I was 40. So if you're under 40, you'll be starting where I was, right? And it'll only be better for you. Happy New Year, Papa Tango. Hey, Darren, big love from Switzerland. I do want to go there. Working my integrated ATPL. I talked about it. I communicated with you on a comment. I want to mention any recommendations for the airline interviews or when looking for a job as a first officer. So I know nothing about Switzerland, right? But in the U.S., I say use interview prep, right? Like Spitfire Aviation, like Spitfire Aviation Consulting does really good interview prep. Who else does it? FAPA Aero, FAPA Aero, FAPA Aero does interview prep as well. Of course, always have someone look over your resume, your application, and your logbook. Be able to explain any boo-boos in your training career, like check ride failures, oral failures, whatever it is. Be able to explain those. And whenever you have any kind of failure in your aviation career, never, ever, ever blame someone else. Always own your mistakes and failures. Don't ever say, I failed a check ride because my examiner was unfair, or I failed a check ride because my instructor didn't teach me that. You own every single failure. Congrats on winning World's Greatest Dad. Thank you very much. I'm exceptionally average. I'm a very average dad, but my daughter, my youngest, thinks I am a pretty awesome dad. And if you have kids, you understand that the older your kids get, the less cool they think you are. My 7-year-old thinks I'm pretty freaking cool. My 14-year-old thinks I am a dork. And that's okay. When do you think you'll begin to receive less London trips? So I've only been to London one time this month. And it doesn't even count. I'm saying it doesn't count because I flew to London on November 30th, on 31st, and I flew back in the first beginning of the month. So this month, I only flew to London once. Now, next month, I was supposed to go to London 4 times. I trade out all those trips. So I'm getting more senior. The problem is, So at my airline, we have 4 fleets, right? Uh, for the most part, it's just two. It's narrow body and wide body. As you people get hired at this airline on the narrow body, it's just how it is, and that's fine. That's normal. Well, as they go up through the narrow body ranks, people are always wanting to go up from narrow body FO to narrow body captain or wide body FO, right? Well, once you get to wide body FO, it's slower movement. People then only leave the wide body FO ranks to either retire or probably go to wide body captain. Now, there are a lot of wide body first officers that could be a line holding wide body captain that choose not to be. They choose to stay wide body FO. You can make a fabulous living as a wide body first officer. In fact, there's a trip going out tomorrow. I didn't get the trip, but the person that got the trip they're about 5,000 numbers senior to me. They got awarded this trip. They're going to make $15,000 over 3 days, and all they're doing is deadheading out to a foreign country and flying back. They got it because they're a pretty senior first officer. I heard some people are using AI to interview them to save money on interview prep. I've heard that. That would be interesting. Have you ever worked with a pilot that was so bad you reported them to someone? I have. I'm opening a 7-Up, in case you're curious. When I was a captain at my old airline, I was flying to Calgary, Canada. Beautiful VFR day. I mean, beautiful day. You can see outside, no clouds. We're cleared to land on the left runway, headed south. I haven't been there in over 10 years. But my FO was flying, and he had loaded the RNAV approach, the GPS approach. Well, that's fine. We all do it. But he's coming in, and he's descending below glide path and below the Pappy and Bazzy. I say, hey, dude, you need to level off your descent. You're descending too quickly. He's flying by hand. Okay. He said, okay. He said he will. He didn't change his descent. He keeps descending. I'm like, hey, stop descending now. Like at this point, we had gone from 2 white, 2 red to 3 red, 1 white, and then we're almost to 4 red. I'm like, stop descending now. And when I said it in that tone, he did stop descending and started climbing up a little bit, and then got the descent again. I did report him that I didn't think he was a pretty good pilot, and that's all. I haven't heard anything back from it. That's true. We communicated via DMs and Instagram. Thanks again. You're very welcome, spies. Cold weather and polar vortex coming to DFW. I know how much you love cold. I hate cold. You have no idea how much I hate cold. Yeah, I'm gonna be packing my long underwear, preheating my car, and turning the heater up in the house. When's your next big jump in seniority? There's no telling. There is a current vacancy bid being run at my airline right now. I did not bid for captain. I could have bid for captain. Could have been awarded captain. I'm staying put. But whenever that gets awarded, when that gets announced, I'll see how many people are going to be leaving above me. How many people are going to be coming in above me and coming in under me. Right? You only get seniority if people leave above you and come in from below you as well. The last one I saw that was run. After all is said and done, I gained about maybe 8 or 9 percentage points in seniority, still in the 70% range. Because a lot of people above me left from retirement and going to captain somewhere, but then a lot of people came in above me as well. Because again, there's a lot of first officers on the and captains as well on the narrow body that are playing it down, working down there, and they're watching their seniority go up on the wide body. And when it gets high enough, they say, okay, I am done being Airbus captain. I'm now going to be a 777 first officer. And they're senior to me. And that's just the name of the game. Good night from Chile. Great videos, Darren. Watching from your favorite city, London. Hey, Carl. Did your January trades get you more FO than FB line? No. In fact, my next month, I have 3 trips I have 2 FB and 1 FC. Right? And it's a choice, right? Do I want to be an FO to London or a relief pilot to anywhere else in the freaking world? This one. So 2 Madrids and Incheon. Watch your videos on my commute to do the same job as you. So entertaining. Hey, Harvey, thank you very much. It's hard watching aviation YouTube, right? Because it's like, I do this for a living. I watch a lot of car YouTube. We all get a little below glide slope every once in a while. The important thing is to say correcting glide path. Yes. So far, I prefer the Airbus. The 777, it is a fabulous airplane, a great airplane. I still prefer the Airbus. And I have 6 type ratings. Airbus is my favorite by far. The Airbus is a more comfortable flight deck, and the systems make more sense to me than 777 systems. Fun fact: at the widget, we figure out who gets the landing and which FO sits during the brief. Interesting. Yeah, I've heard that at widget that you guys do that, and that sometimes one FO will fly over and one will fly back. There's strategy to both, because you could play the game here and only bid relief pilot trips, and then go out of currency, but then bid some high time trips, and then be pulled off those trips, but be paid for those trips until you go back into currency again. Darren, when you earn $20,000 a month, what do you spend all the money on? That kind of so most of my money goes into savings. I use Wealthfront. I never take financial advice from a pilot. Never take financial advice from a pilot. But almost all my income goes into savings. I can't spend that much money. I told my wife the other day, I said, "You're lucky I'm not crazy, and that I just don't spend money like crazy, because I am very frugal." Like, she laughs at how cheap I am. I still shop at the discount grocery store. Um, we went to IKEA yesterday to buy my youngest a new bed, and on the way there, you can either go on the tollway, it costs $1.92, or go on surface streets that are free. And we had to take 2 cars because we don't have a truck. So my wife took the tollway the whole way there. I took the surface roads. Now, it took me 5 minutes longer, but I saved $1.92. Hey there, love your videos. I'm currently a C5 building time on 900 hours and in the awesome aviate program. Excited to get to the regionals. Tips for training an IOE for the first time. When you ever get to United Express carrier, find someone that has the same mindset as you for study habits. Not someone you get along with, like studying for an airline, especially the first one. Don't find someone you want to go have a beer with or drinks with. Find someone that is a good studier, similar to you. You might not ever want to hang out with this person, but they are very studious. Study with that person. Ignore any advice that says, start studying your aircraft right away. Trust the process. The process is there for a reason. You have to pass NDOC first and then aircraft training. Trust the process. And before you go to training, anything that's in your personal life that's all kind of loose ends, wrap it up. Because you guys tell your friends and family, hey, listen, you see me, I was working for years to get to this point. I'm at that point now. So for a little while, I'll be out of touch. I'm not ignoring you, but this part of my life right now is super important. Good luck to you. Forget my ignorance. Is relief pilot remuneration different? So a relief pilot is there basically that they sit in the flight deck while the captain and FO are back resting. Gotta get that Costco to Incheon. I'll be back to Incheon next month. What thoughts on wannabe airliners starting with the U.S. Air Force? I am a civilian. I know nothing about the military. It's a great career path though. Whose responsibility is it to get your landings in to avoid the sim? Mine. But again, I can bid relief pilot trips for 3 months and then be out of currency, and then the airline has to schedule me to get back in the sim. I also have to log the landing too. I think I've had 24 landings so far in the 777. Not very many. Could you do a video on your next visit to the car show or museum? I love your aviation content. I love cars also. Yeah, Max, I went to the LA Auto Show, and I actually filmed an entire video to make, and I thought I'm going off script. So I think I'm going to combine it with, if I go to Detroit, like the non-rev benefits allow me to go to do this for a day. I'll try. When I was in the new American 321, it was pretty nice. It was only 40 minutes while I was in Economy Plus. Pretty nice. Awesome. It's a very quiet airplane. Do you have any Bitcoin? No. Yes, we often switch. Rarely are you in the same seat both legs. It's very interesting. Yeah, we don't. But and you'll find this, like between Delta, American, United, the three major airlines with a whole worldwide service, our pay rates are very similar, but our work rules are very different. Like over at Delta, they have something called Rolling Thunder, where you can like do this crazy thing with your schedule and make massive amounts of money. Where I work, we have something called Premium Reserve or Over Guarantee, where if I'm on reserve Monday and Tuesday, I'm on reserve right now, but I'm off on Wednesday. If they have a trip that's open and they can't cover it, say they have a trip that's a 3-day trip that starts tonight at 9 o'clock at night, they have no one else to cover it. I can tell the airline, I'll do that trip, but for time and a half, and I'm being paid for today and tomorrow as well. So that trip will then be paid on top of my reserve guarantee for the month. Where if you can work this system, if you're senior and you know what to do and you get the timing just right, you can work one 3-day trip, say to Incheon, for the whole month, and you can be paid like 115 hours by flying one 28-hour trip to Incheon for the whole month. But they can't do that at Delta or United. Financial advice from pilots: deep pockets but short arms. That's funny. Would you get a Rivian R01T? I'm not a truck person, and it wouldn't fit in my garage, but Rivians are very nice. Basic tips for initial IFR training. I just started in the sim. Did some DMRX yesterday, and GPH approaches are next. Yeah, Adam, if you can, practice in a flight sim at home. Doesn't burn any one your Lola does it. It does not. When you're briefing an approach, even if you've done the same approach 10 times, brief it as though you've never seen it before. Never, ever, ever memorize an approach plate. I still shop at Ross sometimes, or I buy things in Black Friday or holiday offers. I like to be smart with my money. I'm very smart with money, Carlos. I am so frugal. I research so much stuff to death. Flight sim video soon? Probably not. Probably not. If a base has 100 airplanes, how many pilots would you expect to be fully staffed? I've heard like 10 to 1, so like 1,000 pilots to staff it. That's what I've heard airline-wise. Do you have a manager, and do you like performance reviews? I have a manager. It's a chief pilot. Performance reviews don't really happen at the airlines. I got one performance review per se my first year here when I was on probation. After that, no. I kind of joke with people that, like, my wife has performance reviews as a scientist, right? I don't have that. As long as I don't die, crash an airplane. No, that's not true. Well, as long as I don't die, bend metal, or break any rules, every year I get my money. I don't have to be any better. I can have crappy landings every single day, and every year I'll get my money. I've always talked so fast, social anxiety, find myself rewinding, playing back normal. So just curious. I have a stutter. So I do talk fast. I talk fast right now for two reasons. One, because I have a stutter and I think faster than I talk. And two, I try to get to the questions as quick as I can. But when I do my videos, I try to talk, like right now, I am talking incredibly slow. This is not how I normally talk. This is my public speaking voice, but I have a pretty bad stutter, so I think faster than I talk. What do you think of ATP Flight School? I am thinking about attending the Dallas campus. So Gilberto Melendez. So I went to the Arlington location 17, 18 years ago. ATP is a great flight school, but understand, much like this Mac is a PC right here, I have a Apple phone, an Android phone, different strokes for different folks, right? What is perfect for me, you might hate it, right? So what I recommend is, if you want to go to the ATP, cool. Go do a tour of that location. And if you live in the area, even better. Show up half an hour early, sit in the lobby, and just get a vibe for how that location is run. If you can, talk to students and instructors. Say, hey, man, my name is Gilberto. I've been coming here. Would you come here again? How's your experience been? And take multiple people's input, right? Do the full tour. Do a discovery flight. And then tour at least 2 more places. Especially if you live in the Metroplex, there are so many places to learn. I never recommend any certain one, though. Good evening. Happy New Year to you and your family. Hey, Mr. McClendon. Happy New Year to you as well. But same with Darren would hit. I've done it in the past. I'll have to see. It takes a lot to set that up. James, you're very welcome. Darren, today, would you change your life as a wildlife captain, first officer to be captain? No. No. Could I be a super junior captain, right? No. Then I'd be going on in London. Uh, by the time I can hold 777 captain, I'll be 58 years old. So another 11 years and a few months. 10 years and a few months. We'll see if I want to bid it at the first opportunity and be the bottom person, or I'll wait a little longer on the wide body or the narrow body. I imagine by that point, I'll still love flying, but I'll be okay flying to London every day, every trip. How does stutters affect my PA announcements? Good question. So I have canned PAs. Again, my stutter is much lower than it used to be, partially because of all the TikToks and YouTubes I do. I talk more than I used to. I used to be very quiet. I'm still very quiet, but I've learned to enunciate my words better. I've learned what words I can say and I cannot say. But for PAs, I say the same thing every time. I just change the weather and city. But some words I still can't say. If I want to go to Taco Bell, I cannot say, I want 3 crunchy tacos in a normal voice. I will stutter. I have to say, I want 3 tacos crunchy. If I say it another way, I'll stutter it. Talk fast ATC when I say my call sign, and my CFA was like, slow it down. I used it to be shy. Yeah. And so my ATC voice is, good afternoon. This is 7 Up 417, level 370. 124.5, 7 Up 417. Good afternoon, 7 Up 417, ILS 36 right approach. This is how I talk to ATC. I have a much slower voice and I enunciate everything. If you talk fast, you say it twice. Do you invest extra money in real estate, stocks, precious metals, etc.? I invest extra money. And again, never take financial advice from a pilot. All my extra money goes into 3 places. My kids' 529 plan. It goes into Wealthfront cash account. I get like 4% interest now. It was 5% interest. And a Wealthfront investment account. It's up like 111% in the last 8-9 years. Never take financial advice from a pilot. With 4 pilot crews on long haul flights, how does the break schedule work? Is it split half and half? It depends, Chuck. Most of the time, if I'll keep it really simple. Let's say we're doing an 11-hour flight, okay? And so out of that 11-hour block, and that's gate to gate. So let's say we have a half hour, so we have a 15-minute a half an hour taxi out, which is legit, and a 15-minute taxi in. So that's 10 hours, 15 minutes left. And then it takes 15 minutes to climb up to altitude, climb up and out of the 10,000 foot shelf, the aerosterol. There's 10 hours left. 4 pilot crew. So we can do it 2 ways. We can do half and half, which is a long time for a wide body to be up front. So we can do 5-hour breaks and then 5-hour break-ish. Most people on the 10-hour flight, if it's 4 pilot crews, they'd probably do 4 breaks to 2.5 hours each. It's around there. Now, if it's like a 16-hour flight, what we typically do is 3, and then whatever's remaining, we'll half it. It depends. Now, a 3-man crew, I've done 3 pilot crews, sorry. Those can be kind of rough because let's say it's a 11-hour flight, 11 and a half hour flight to Rome. That means that if I'm the relief pilot, we take off out of Dallas, I go in the back right away to take a nap for 3 hours and 20 minutes. Then I'm up front for the rest of the flight. So I go up front, and now the FO is flying. FO goes back for 3 hours, 20 minutes. Now that captain will then be up there for 6 hours and 40 minutes total before he goes back for a break. She goes back for a break. So if you're the 3-person crew, 2 people are going to have crazy long stints, and 1 person's going to have a very, third of a flight stint. But there's an app for that. A la carte works for me, already at 19 hours and touring 3 schools. That's very good. Deposit paid monthly, but I get paid twice a month. I will never ever go to 737 Captain. I would never ever go to 737 Captain. If my airline said Dallas will only have 737s, I don't know what I would do. I might have to buy a second house somewhere and live somewhere else and not commute. I don't know what I would do. Can you hold line as an Airbus captain? I can. I can. I'm on the border. So last time I looked, I was a line holding captain on the Airbus. I'm logging in right now, but it was 4-day trips over weekends. So I'm gonna log into my union website real quick, and I can put myself in any spot in the airline. I'll put myself as Dallas Captain Airbus. I'd be number 668 out of 808, and next month, everyone around me is showing reserve. Yeah, so I'd be reserve. I am 20 numbers from being a bottom end line holding captain. The bottom end line holding captain with their actual line is holding 4-day trips over every single weekend. That is not what I want to do. No, thank you. Scored well qualified on the ATSA for the most recent ATC bid. Dude, freaking awesome. Good luck to you, Jake. If you need to divert while the captain is on break, do they have to be woken up? Nope. The general rule is, and the general what they almost every sim captain says is, if you need to divert, start the diversion. Right? Wake them up when they get close, or if it's an emergency, wake them up. If it's like a medical diversion or weather diversion, let them sleep for a little bit, right? But if it's a major, we don't ever have to get the captain involved to divert. If you did a turnaround flight to say Mexico, do you have to check in with customs? Yes. And I used to do like Dallas to Mexico, back to Dallas, then to Mexico, and I'd be clearing customs. I guess once in Dallas and then once again in Mexico. Yeah, you can't ever skip customs, even if you just go out, even if you never leave the airplane. They don't know that. Flying to Chicago, I heard you need to speak fast to ATC. No, you don't. Never speak fast to ATC. If you do it and they miss it, you say it twice. I will talk just like this. Good afternoon, Chicago approach 7 up 426, level 12000 with Charlie. See the Cadillac Lyric V, high performance Lyric. I'm getting one. I did not. I'm pretty sure I want to get an EQS 580 though. Darren, what are the highways in the sky called again? Tracks. Hey, El Salvador, Brazil. I don't inform that the start, obviously everyone cheats their hours a little bit here and there. Later in your career, you can just sleep them, right? I have never heard of everyone cheat your hours. But I'll say this. I don't log my time anymore. I haven't logged the time in my logbook in 7 years. So there's that. What would you do if the airline retired all Airbus and only had 737? I would be very upset and cry every day. I'd probably go be an instructor. Hey Don, now that GOH has a big runway, have you used a diversion point recently over Kangaroo? I can't even say that word. I have not. We don't fly that high toward Greenland. We have like 1 or 2 airports in Greenland. I forgot what they are. Kesselback is in Iceland, I think. Keflavik in Iceland. Greenland, I'm not sure what the airport is. I always say 777. My brother is an ATC in Chicago. Nice. You don't have to talk fast, but ATC was talk fast to you. That is correct. I have had to divert to both Tulsa and Oklahoma City. Not on a 777, but on other fleets. In fact, my very first diversion as a captain, I was flying somewhere in Dallas, MSCRJ. Dallas had weather, and I'm flying right over Oklahoma City. I'm looking down OKC. It's clear in a million. Tell my dispatcher, I want to divert to OKC early, get down early, get paperwork done, fuel done. This is 12 years ago. So we landed in Oklahoma City, and we landed on the west side of the airport. I see no airplanes. I'm like, great. We'll go to the gate. People get off the airplane, use the restroom, get some snacks, get gas, and we'll be out of here. No. They said, follow the Follow Me truck. They taxied me over to the east side of the airport that was full of airplanes from all the diversions. I was not that smart. I don't ever talk about SBAR. All due respect, I don't talk about any accidents or incidents. I have no training in accident investigation. I do want to move to 787 one day, but not till my seniority can hold it and be better than I am now. I will not fly a 787 just because it's 787. If I can be a line holder on a 787 and get good trips, I'll do it. Otherwise, I'll stay where I am. One thing about me, for an overnight, it's I explore a little bit. But if I actually want to see a city, I'll just non-rev there, right? Now London, I can do one part of London per trip and see more stuff, but yeah, I'm all about quality of life. Hey there, love the content and MCPL at 350 hours total time. Does it really matter to time build alone, or should I become a CFI? Lack, time build as quickly and cheaply and safely and cheaply and quickly as you can. So if you can find a time building job that pays you well and good equipment and it's good for you quality of life wise, bang it out. But if you have to say, hey, Darren, no one's going to hire me at that low time, then CFI is fine. Can you explain the difference in roles between captain and FO? Why one is better than the other? They're not really better. The captain has a final decision. The captain is the one that's ultimately responsible for the safe whole flight. Captain gets paid more, and the captain steers the airplane on the ground at this airline. That's it. We both take off. We both land. Both make PAs. Both hit all the buttons. Most of the buttons. The biggest difference is that they make the final decision. They have the ultimate responsibility, and they can delay the flight, and they can steer on the ground. But there's many people that can hold captain that choose to stay first officer. No point talking too fast to ATC. You only have to repeat yourself exactly. Talk nice and slow and clear. What chips get you being a LAX 777? LA goes to Australia and to London. Out of LA anyway. No, I don't fly cargo planes. I have no desire to fly cargo planes. Do you notice the difference between the GE90s and the Pratt & Whitney? No, just one of them has EPR, one of them has N1. On the 200, we can do a dual engine start. On the 300, we can start one at a time. Almost done with the live. Live in Phoenix, is it LAX DF 777 pilots for that daily flight to London? SBAR, it varies by season. So, and by month. Last year, LA and Dallas both covered the Phoenix flight. What was your experience during the COVID grounding? So I grew a big beard for a month and a half, and then I flew. Sorry. I had the option to get paid to stay at home or go fly, and I'm like, I'm very junior. I need to go fly and make some money and throw it into the bank. I was paranoid about being furloughed. So except for March and most of April, I didn't fly, but starting I think early May, I flew the entire time. I do. So I like 7 Up. I actually like ginger ale, but this is downstairs. What advice would you have for the future pilots that will have to sit at regional for 10 years like you did? Blaze, you don't have to sit at regional for 10 years. You don't. Now, my advice to you is once you get to your regional and you're off probation, your primary job is not flying for that regional anymore, but getting to mainline. That means volunteering for your airline union, volunteering for as many aviation organizations as you have time for. Go to every single big aviation career fair and conference, and not just a career fair, but the speakers as well. But you don't have to spend 10 years. I didn't have to spend 10 years. My buddies didn't spend 10 years. My buddies spent 3 to 4 years, right? They did all that stuff I just said. I sat on my laurels and said, I'm good. Don't be like me. Do you enjoy domestic wide-body flights? Haven't done many. I think I've only done ferry flight to New York, and ferry flight to Dallas. What subject did you teach when you were a teacher? I taught computer repair. Airbus 350s would be nice. Blacklock, you're very welcome. It doesn't matter how you build time. It's not matter. Hours are hours. Have you ever met any pilots that flew? There have been many pilots at my airline that have flown just a 737 or just Airbus their entire career. Because the guy that interviewed me at my regional is still flying for my regional. Many pilots want to get bigger and bigger and bigger airplanes, right? But some are happy to fly for a regional jet for the whole career. You think the industry will grow and start hiring again? Yes. Yes. Probably in January. Could you fly a 330 or 380 if I needed? If needed, I could fly it. Hey, Big Ralph. Doing fairly well. Almost done with the live. My voice is going out. When you become a captain on 777, will there be a lot of extra training? No. I will probably do the exact same training I did right now. So, like when I was a captain on the CRJ at my old airline, I did the exact same training as the FO, but I was already typed on a CRJ. If I go be captain on the Airbus, full Airbus training course. I do a auto land, and I steer on the ground. Hey, he said you can start 2 engines on the 200, but not 300. Why is that? Hey, Captain Shaquille, oatmeal, because the 300 engines are so giant. The 300 engines are so big, the APU can't put out enough air to start both at the same time. But 200 can. 200 they can. It has zero tailwind time, and zero turbine time. Zero like turboprop time. Pros and cons for 737. Pros for 737. It's old. It's a small flight deck. You learn how to fly an antique airplane. I have no idea. I hate 737s. What airport and region has the best ATC from my perspective? SoCal approach is very good. Chicago approach is very good. I say SoCal and Chicago. SoCal because you come into LA, SoCal might screw with you 2 hours away. But once you enter the SoCal approach airspace, they don't screw with you anymore. They say 7 up 244, descend via the arrival, clear for the approach. Like descend via the CV2 arrival, cleared for the approach. They don't care what approach you do, but you are 50 miles from the airport, and you just keep descending via the arrival, and as long as every plane does the right thing, they don't screw with you. You are at 25,000 feet, and you just keep on descending, and you turn, and you turn, and you land, and it's very peaceful. If you get sick away from home, what resources are available to help you get better on the road? We have a MedLink. We have a doctor on call we can call, but with the airline. GE is a wonderful engine. Trents are amazing. My brother does Chicago approach. Nice. Yeah, Chicago approach. They just say haul butt until they tell you to slow down. I love SoCal. They're very nice people. I teach math and science at an alternative high school. They student demographic over 90% Hispanic. What advice would you have for students of color who want interest in aviation? OBAP. 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 They have ACE academies. Like a whole week it's like a summer camp week, but it's a whole week of aviation. And not just flying. They touch all aspects of aviation. They touch the mechanic stuff, flight attendants, air traffic control, dispatch, in addition to flying. And they get most ACE academies, they get a good takeoff and landing on the actual airplane as well. So OBAP ACE academies. And there's a Latin Pilot Association thing. Maybe it's called LAPA, or if you Google the Latino Pilot Association, LPA, could help them as well. Your Potomac TradeCon, we were the best. We believe it. You believe it. So, last thing I'll answer, then I got to be done. My first time ever going up to the LaGuardia Airport, many years ago, I was a Dallas-based pilot. And the airline I worked for did not have any CRJs based in LaGuardia, but they were moving them there. Well, the captain and I, we were flying from like Philly. No, it must have been like Pittsburgh, Chicago, or Chicago to the LaGuardia. Anyway, it's a beautiful day in New York. Beautiful day in New York. And the approach controller said, Eagle, the lady, the bridge, the river. That was my clearance. Eagle, the lady, the bridge, the river. And the captain and I looked at each other like, that's a clearance? So we knew the lady, Statue of Liberty. Which freaking bridge, dude? We had no idea what bridge to freaking follow. We're Texans. And river, no idea. And then with a big New York accent, yes, sir, Statue of Liberty. I think it was the Verrazano Bridge in the Hudson River, but that was the clearance into LaGuardia. IT was good for me. Benefits to low-time pilot to apply to Connect programs. There is. I do get free meals while I'm flying. I didn't fly the MD-80 from Dallas to Portland because at the time I flew the MD-80, it was only going east. The price is awesome. Sweet. You guys have a fabulous day. Again, I'll have 2 videos up this week. One video about my December recap, and one with an interview with my wife and kid. The interview and my wife and kid will probably be up on Thursday. My recap of December will probably be up on Tuesday or Wednesday. I appreciate your support. Please subscribe, by the way. Like, less than 1 out of 5 people that watch my videos subscribe. It does help me quite a bit. So if you can just click the subscribe link, that's awesome. I go live randomly. So click the notification bell and you get notified when I go live. They are totally random. Manual thrusts. I was always manual thrust on the MD-80. We didn't trust the auto throttles. You guys have a great, fabulous day. Bye.